Thank you for joining with us today. So, we most of us saw that the new immigration plan was released just a week ago. So, I'm going to talk about the immigration plan for the next 3 years, and also to give you an idea as to what your opportunities would be as temporary residents in your journey of becoming a permanent resident. So, as all of you know already, it has become challenging day by day, and we can see that the panic among the temporary residents are increasing, and uh, kind of it's becoming a little difficult, not like about couple of years ago. For those who have finished their programs and have secured a decent job offer, were able to find their PR pathways pretty easily. But right now, the situation is a little bit different. So it's always good to stay informed. Therefore, if the more you know and more you try, also like if you cannot wait until the last moment. That's the key thing, because it's a challenging time. If you wait until the last minute to find your PR pathway, then it's going to be very tough for you. We are experiencing that kind of cases these days. Sometimes clients are reaching out to us just a couple of months prior to the expiry of the status. So it's hard for us to also place them or guide them to a proper PR pathway when that happens. So, which is why we are planning to give some information through this webinar, as well as the webinars we do at least once a month. Okay, so let's get to the topic, which is how temporary residents can succeed under Canada's new immigration plan. That's the topic for today. Before I proceed, can Darshan confirm you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Thumesha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so for the temporary residents, this is the summary of the immigration plan for the next 3 years. Let me clear my screen a little bit so I can see the numbers. So overall, for the temporary residents, in 2026, they have targeted uh, to allow 385,000 people to enter Canada on temporary residence. So when we call as the temporary residents, that includes the workers and the students, temporary foreign workers and the students. So for 2027 and 2028, they are projecting these numbers, 370 each year. But as we saw, like in early this year, or with the plan they gave last year, um, there was a projection for 2026, but that has changed by now. So the 2027 and 2028 figures will change or might change in the future. But for 2026, at least, this is going to be the plan. So the 385,000 temporary residents include 230,000 workers and 155,000 students. So when we say workers, that includes international mobility program, the workers who are coming through that. So that is basically those who are on special programs, significant benefit to Canada's economy, intra-company transferees, also the ones who are awaiting their PR decisions, those who can apply for a open work permit uh, based on a provincial nomination, or something that they have received and they have submitted a federal level PR application. And then the temporary foreign workers program, which is what we call as the LMIA stream. So on the LMIA stream, you can see the projection is 60,000. That's very, very low. And we can already see how IRCC is going forward with that plan of reducing the uh, temporary foreign workers through LMIAs, because we see a lot of LMIAs getting rejected. And also, LMIA restrictions are increasing day by day. Most of you might be already aware that we had restrictions in terms of hiring low wage employees starting last year. So basically, like it was close to impossible. And then even for high wage employees, there were restrictions, and they brought in some. They increased the low minimum wage, median wage paid in provinces, and also um, then the newest change is that when an employer advertises for a position, they have to consider each and every Canadian who applies. So it's not only the ones who are fulfilling the minimum qualifications. So it's going to be really tough for the employers to get an LMIA approved, and we will see less and less LMIAs in the market in the future as a result of that. And then the students, we also see this is like a close to a 50% reduction, 49% to be accurate, 155,000 students. So this cap will not include the master's and PhD students. So this will be for the other programs. And this is the immigration levels plan for the permanent residents. This page shows you the under the economic pathways, like the federal high skilled, business, and then the economic pilots, including caregivers, agri-food, and then community immigration pilots and stuff like that. Atlantic immigration program, provincial nomination program. So you will see the overall permanent residents that Canada is going to absorb in the upcoming 3 years will be 380,000 per year, and that includes 109,000 federal high skilled workers, 500 business. So this was kind of like they have been alarming about the business immigration program um, for quite some time now because they brought in like first they brought in the restrictions for the owner operators, so startups and all that. So more and more restrictions are coming up, so it's becoming tough. And then all the pilots will include 8,175 allocations, and then AIP 4,000 provincial nominations. This is the most significant change, I think, the favorable change we saw. So from 55,000 last year, they increased it to 91,500. So I will talk a little bit more about the PNP program, therefore, because this is something that we see the potential in. And with all these numbers, we can see a total of 239,800 economic permanent residents absorbed and economic categories. And then the non-economic categories, including the family, immigration, refugees, and HNC. So family, that is spouses, children, and grandchildren, 69,000, and parents, 15,000. That's very, very low, and we see a lot of applications uh, in pending approval already. So this shows that they might not even open this program for the next 3 years because it's if you have heard about that program, it goes as like part of it is like a lottery because they will open up for applications and the eligible people will apply, and then you're being selected randomly, and then you have to submit your application. So they will absorb only 15,000 per year. And then the refugees and protected persons, there were a lot of restrictions on this as well. But I'm not going to talk about that in depth today because it's a different another topic. So 49,300 altogether, but there's an interesting fact like a very high number of as I remember, about 110,000 application, 110,000 predicted under a different category as well, in addition to this one for the protected persons. And then the humanitarian compassion aid, this was also on news. So it was making news headlines in the past couple of weeks because, especially concerning the high processing time, the average processing time being 20 years for this program, and certain applications have even taken 50 years. So basically a lifetime to process. So sorry. So that will be the non-economic uh, pathways for permanent residents. And just a recap. So this I have just taken from the IRCC website. So new student arrivals, 155,000. That is a 49% reduction from the last year's target. So we will see um, the student allocation, students, less and less students coming to Canada. But this will only include new student arrivals, students who are entering Canada from outside of Canada, not for the ones who are already in. Like if you are planning to extend your study permit, that will not include this cap. And then the new temporary worker arrivals, that is also showing a 37% reduction from last year. That's 230,000. And then new permanent resident uh, target, 380,000. That's just 4% fewer than last year's target. So pretty much equal. So basically, they're trying to give PR to people who are already in Canada, but mostly restricting the ones who are entering to Canada name. And just for you to get an idea, I just took a summary of the express entry draws we had in this year. Like CACC has gone up to like for 542, 527. These are the cutoffs. So, and also you can see October 1st, we had a draw 534. So it's still very, very high. We um, kind of noticed a couple of years back the CEC cutoff getting increased, and we were expecting that to come down. But what we can see from these figures is in this year it has not happened. And then the provincial nomination program, we saw several draws going. So this one is a high number, as all of you know, with the 600 points you get from the provincial nomination certificate itself. So that's all right. And then the French language proficiency, we will see more and more French language proficiency draws. The reason for this is, yeah, all of us are complaining that, but the reason is about 5 years back, the percentage of French-speaking people in Canada was quite higher than what we are having today. So they need to basically bring that balance back, and they need to bring the percentage of French-speaking Canadians to the level where we were about 5 years back, which is why they want to give the PR to more and more French-speaking people through this. And then also another popular program we see is the educational occupations. So we can see a trend of like most of our clients are getting the EC qualification and all that to qualify into this category, because that has had a very low cutoff compared to the CEC, 479 here. And the other one is the healthcare and social services. So we saw a very recent draw as well with the cutoff of 462. So healthcare is also another category because um, sometimes there are some healthcare programs for which you can get a very small qualification and you can enter into that at the assistant level, just like the ECEA. So early childhood education assistant. So just like that, you can also try that pathway. So a few pathways that you can try according to the express entry cutoff score we can see on this table are French language proficiency. If you think that you can learn French and become a competitive level uh, s- uh, speaker and user in French. And then education occupations, if you can get a qualification in one of those occupations and secure a job offer. And then the healthcare and social services, if you can get a healthcare sector qualification, small qualification, and secure a job offer through that. So those are some pathways that you can try.